Marco K. Yeah. Third, we'll have Jacqueline. Is that right? Yeah. Jackie. Yeah. And then Danica will end the student readings. And then to kill everything will be our guest reader tonight, Brando Skyhorse. Alright, so first up we have Matt Wimberly, and he's given me a special rewritten, revised bio. So, Matt Wimberly is a poet of the Appalachian Islands, or Wildlands, sorry, not islands, and general raconteur. His work has appeared or is forthcoming in Tar River, Windover, Literary Laundry, and Matt, how do you say the M one again? Monongahela Review, Connotation Press, and various other journals. He has 2 dogs and spent March and April of 2012 driving across the country and back, following winter up the spine of America into the Canadian Rockies. He currently lives in Brooklyn.
How's everybody doing?
Great! Woo! Yeah!
Alright, it's about to get better as the night goes on. So I'm really honored to be here and to get to read you guys and get to read with such amazing people. It's going to be a fantastic evening. This first poem I wrote after some tornadoes completely destroyed this whole row of houses about a half mile from where I live. It's called Raised Bed. I wanted to plant lilacs in the backyard, so when thunder spoke through scattered cedar branches and rallied on the chain link fence, the dark clouds would know something good. This is so the sky doesn't turn against itself. At night, when lightning clips through blinds like an old film reel and nails turn to smoke in the floorboards, I fall asleep fast. Mornings slip away like calendar squares. I read, we get to wake up 25,000 times, if we're lucky. After the storm, I sit at my table and watch the neighbor's dog chase a robin into my yard. In front of me, coffee and Philip Levine opened in the steam. At the end of every book, blank pages wait like dares. A half mile away, crews scrape through what's left of others' homes. How many of them planted things unable to shake off death? Funnels pulled to the ground, heavy in bloom. They have their season and it ends. We have heartbeats. This next poem is called My Father at 58. Just before Christmas, I got the news. He had been admitted for minor complications of the heart, but was back home, holed up, alone, on his couch with the specter-like light of the television to hold back the dark. Weeks later, the phone call, like a horse's slow trot, and the voice spoke softly how another found him, alone on the apartment floor, like beechwood washed up at the end of a great ocean cross. And then I saw him, hours before his body was dissolved into the elements, dressed in suit and tie, a knot his hands would have remembered how to make. White hair like a cluster of dandelion, eyes closed and wrinkled, scars on his neck from arterial surgery, covered with makeup, but still visible like a layer of quartz. I stood over him as he must have stood over me when I was born. This is what I came for, not to say goodbye, but to remember. So this next poem, I was thinking about just the pains of memory and what a precious gift memory is, and how at some point in our lives, if we're lucky to live how long, we might have to face losing those memories. And this is called Tabula Rasa. He still remembers how to move sandpaper with the wood grain, push back years of weariness, and start again. I watch him strip away lacquer, deep maple-colored jelly pushed off of edges and pooled on the floor, the smell of chemicals eating at paint and wood until the surface looks like chalk dust, or the shoulder blade of some extinct mammal in a museum. He brushes away sawdust from the tabletop like a paleontologist pushing dirt in the badlands, calloused hands shaking as he excavates, his own bones ready for the earth, hips replaced, knees rebuilt, man-made heart. Arched over the table, dipping his brush in a tin can of stain propped on an anvil, he lets the polyurethane give itself to the wood and looks over to me. Who are you? I give my best fake smile until he sighs and goes back to work, taking a kerchief out of his breast pocket to dab away sweat on his forehead. Nana tells me it hurts to forget. 86 years don't disappear all at once. When the work's done, he stirs the paint stick in the wood stain and lets the lid rest over the top. Brushes washed and put away, so only the table remains. And I've got one more poem. It's a longer one. Everyone should get a drink. I've got an old-fashioned. It's amazing. It's my interlude. And I want to thank KGB for hosting this and everyone who set this up through NYU. This is such a fun thing. This is my first reading that I've ever done in New York, and I'm really glad that it's right here. Yeah. And this last poem is called New Wilderness. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen any stars, just the lights of Manhattan, the blurred reflection of them on the surface of the East River, each gleam a copy of blue light on dark water. I took the midnight train back to Brooklyn, a silver bullet which sped below noisy streets towards some sort of sanity, away from the drunks stumbling down 2nd Avenue, the heartbroken prostitute on a corner in Alphabet City, who swings her pocketbook between the hours of dark and light and begs pity in the holy shape of a $20 bill, who tries to hide her face under wild hair which flits in the breeze like sparrow wings. This is a new wilderness. In the subway car, I stood against a window for half an hour, one hand curled around a chrome bar, fingers wrapped as soft as dust spun from a gravel road, traveled by a lone truck. My other hand held the spine of a book, Whitman's name in encaradine letters, visible enough through my fingers, pages turned down. As the train tumbled through the underground, I thought how this book has the same weight of a rabbit, just killed, neck snapped, body limp, both lifeless. Reading a poem is a lot like skinning an animal. Ink has a scent the way an open stomach has a scent, a harsh sulfur smell of life eked out. Here's how it's done, as it's been done by those who came before. No mercy shown, just calm, movements of blade into fur and bone. In the foothills of North Carolina, I once played witness to a man who so easily sunk his knife between the finger-thick rib bones of a rabbit, peeled back skin and placed gallbladder, heart, and liver onto an ice tray, and heaved what was left of the animal into a ditch. Fresh off of life, the steamy body cooled in its own blood. Another time, he says he killed a horse and left it hanging from a hook outside his shed so the blue, brown, black body would dry out in the sun. This man more honest with his tools than I've been with my words. I remember him saying these things as we loaded up his truck and drove away from a body which was something no longer animal, meant to become loam, eyes left open to catch whatever starlight managed to spill through. Thank you, guys.